Hi everyone, welcome back to Total War Therapy, and today I will show you which are the worst units in Total War Warhammer 3. I already made this video many months ago, but I kinda feel that there are some units that I missed. So here we are. These are 3 endangered animals that, like our units in this video, are extremely cute but good at nothing. So don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and let's begin. Anyway, don't worry, nothing bad happened to my dog during the making of this video. Hi, I am Alberto, I'm a real person, and here you will find a beginner's guide, a battle unit roster, tier list, ranking, and many shorts. So if you wanna support the channel, please consider to subscribe. Let's start with the Grail Reliquae. That is a unit from the Great Army of Bretonnia, and I truly believe that this unit is a joke from Creative Assembly, and I will explain you why. First, it's supposed to be a support infantry, but it's not even an infantry because the game considers it a large entity. It has poor armor, the speed it's mid, but in any case you will not send it in the vanguard. The melee attack and melee defense are quite decent, but the weapon strength is 45, that for a single entity, I mean, it's just the double of a soldier of a melee infantry unit, so nothing. Charge bonus of 12, and then he got the frenzy. Okay, the frenzy ability, that is an augment, a boost of your stats that will increase the charge bonus of the 10%, that considering you have a charge bonus of 12, you will become 13. Seriously, I mean, this is why you got the frenzy ability for this, and then more melee attack and more weapon damage. I mean, for what? And then this couple of abilities, the blessing of the lady that increase the damage resistance, like if it can be worthy at all. And then this icon of devotion, that is the reason why this unit is considered a support unit, because it gives more leadership, melee attack, and immunity to psychology to all the allies nearby, but within a range of 55 meters. That means just a couple of units at the end, okay? Just the unit at your right and the unit at your left. If you have a hero, you know, in that area, probably even 3 units, but I mean, that's it. Why I'm supposed to recruit this unit? I really don't understand. And then, I mean, it's bad in melee, it's bad at support. So why? I mean, at least, you know, give it a so special bonus that, you know, all the units nearby will get unbreakable, something like that. That can be cool. But, I mean, in this situation, I think it's definitely one of the worst units of this game. Now let's go to the Empire to have a look at a unit that I understand the role, and I believe that it can be really powerful in this game, but at the end there is something not working with that. I'm talking about the Luminark of Hysh. Now, Creative Assembly, if you are watching this video, please bring to the game the Celestial Hurricanum, because I really want this unit in the Empire roster. In any case, the Luminark of Hysh is supposed to be a magic chariot, but at the end you will use it as a field artillery, because even if its speed is definitely faster than an artillery piece, I mean, you will not use this mobility, you will not deploy it in the vanguard area, and you will not reach, like, you know, going across the map to reach a strategic position, because this unit needs a lot of protection from your infantry and so on, because it's very weak. The armor is poor, of course the melee capabilities are not even worth to mention. The ammunition are just 14, that may look like a few, but believe me, if you consider that the reload time of this unit is one of the longest of the entire game, it's not that bad. And they are with the flaming effect, magical effect. The true strength of this unit is the missile strength, of course, that it's 2000, that it's a lot, believe me. I can think only of the Exalted Flamer of Zinch that got 1000, so the half of this unit, to make you understand how powerful this range attack is. And the range is 320, that it's not bad, but for this kind of very sniper war machine I would have expected something more. And then there are a couple of abilities, the aura of protection that will grant some damage resistance to all the units nearby if the winds of magic are 15 or more, and then the locus of Hysh that will reduce the power recharge of the spells of the enemy. That is also great, but the big problem with this unit is that it's too much expensive. It's a very elite and expensive unit. So with this price you can just take many other artillery options that will do the job far better. So why recruiting this? I understand that it's very cool, and probably with more units related to this part of the lore of the Empire, you can use it to build thematic armies, but for now I really think it's not worth to recruit it. But I mean, if you disagree, just write it into the comments. Now let's talk about the Snow Leopard, that I feel there is an agreement all around the community that this unit is good at nothing. And I'm sorry, because I like the idea, the concept of this big cat as a pet at your service, but at the end, I mean, I cannot think of a single reason of why to recruit this unit. On the card it's not that bad because it has the anti-large bonus, the armor piercing damage, but if you try to make it fight against any other units of this game, he will lose the fight, okay? Probably just against some spellcasters, but I'm not talking about the the spellcasters with a sword, for example, the one that you will see with from the Nargol roster. The very weak spellcasters, probably just against them it has a chance, but against all the other it will lose. So I really don't understand what's the reason for recruiting this unit. It's very elusive, and this is true. It's a very hard target, okay? It's very easy to miss for the missile units of the enemy. So if you want to sneak around and attack someone, it's great. But if you attack a missile infantry, the missile infantry probably will win, and in any case, they will keep shooting while your little cat will just with this very poor splash attack will hit at most 3 entities. If you do the same with the artillery, you will not stop the artillery from shooting, and the same with the spellcaster that will keep casting the spells while you are trying to take it down, but you will not manage to do it. So I really don't understand what's the reason of this Snow Leopard to exist, even if please dog, shut up. I don't know if you can listen it. Anyway, I really don't understand what's the reason of this Snow Leopard to exist. I really think they should buff it at least. Okay, if it's strong enough to deal with, some mid characters, like even some melee specialist, he can be a great option, and I would reconsider to use it. But in this situation, why we're doing this? Let's talk about the Forest Goblin Spider Riders with the bows and with the spears. Now, I don't think that this unit is that bad compared to the other units that we already talked about, but the question is, when you are building your army, even if thematic or, considering multiple kinds of strategies, will you ever consider to recruit this unit? Do you really think that this unit can be necessary or useful? In my opinion and experience, no. And believe me, I like the idea and the concept. I remember back in some old games of the Lord of the Rings, there were this kind of goblins that were riding spiders, and I loved the concept. So I was excited at the idea of playing them even in Warhammer, in Total War Warhammer, but I just don't feel they are good enough, okay, because they are very weak in the melee combat against most of the other units, against the melee infantry, cavalry. They are good against artillery and the missile infantry, but at that point I would prefer the Goblin Wolf Riders archers on some other kinds of fast units, definitely not these. And they will lose against the cavalry, against the infantry. They are even quite slow for the cavalry, because they are just 78. That for this kind of skirmish cavalry that is supposed to fire with the bow and then just hit and run tactics, so hit and then go away. It's not working, okay? Even if they can reduce the speed of the enemy with the poison effect, I don't know, I think it's not enough. They don't have neither the armor piercing damage that in this case would be at least good at something. They have the Strider, so in this way they will be yeah, for sure faster than many other units in particular maps. But overall, I never feel, you know, the need to recruit them. Just in my Snagla army, because I mean, this is a crazy support hero, and in the army with this legendary hero, the spiders get very powerful. But I mean, in all the other armies, I just think that they are not a good choice. Now let's talk about the Chaos Warshrine, that if you know me since a long time, you know what is my deep feeling towards this unit. In any case, I have to say that as a mount, I think that it's good enough. Okay, I already had a conversation with one of my students on Fiverr, and yes, I mean, as a mount it can be perfect, especially for some cultists, for some spellcasters that don't require mobility. But as a unit itself, and especially if you consider that you need a gift of chaos to recruit it in your Warriors of Chaos campaign, I really don't think it's necessary at all. Okay, it's supposed to be a tank, so it absorbs a lot of damage, and you know, it's great because the health is more than 10,000, and I mean, okay, a lot of mass, but the armor is not that high, and the speed is quite slow. That makes it a very easy target for range attacks, for other monsters, some characters. That it's not good. Okay, the melee attack and melee defense are also quite low. The weapon strength is without armor piercing damage. That from a unit of this entity, from this mass, I would not have expected this. And then of course there are 5 versions that are truly different. Okay, there is the chaos generic version that got I mean, they all have the favor of the ruinous powers that increase the leadership, or just some units very close because the range is just 35. And the generic version then gets some physical resistance, and it helps with the vigor the units nearby. There is the version of Korn that for example has the spell resistance, and then another ability, the frenzy, sorry, and the giver of furious glory that gives more weapon damage and damage resistance. There is the version of Slaanesh that gives no, sorry, that is a direct damage in the area of, again, only 35 meters. So they are different, but at the end it doesn't change a lot, and I really think that if not as a mount, they are really a useless unit in your army for this price and for this tier of recruitment. There are far better options, and if I can say, even a little less generic than this. Another unit that I am fully concerned about its utility are the corpse cards, that by the way I'm looking forward to for the DLC of Neferata. I really cannot wait to play with her. So Creative Assembly, if you're watching this video, please bring her to us as soon as possible. But yes, about the corpse cards, are coming in 3 different variants that you can get with the DLC featuring the vampire counts, the Grim and the Grave, and I really think that they are not that good. I mean, I always thought that they are a nice support unit for your kind of you know, infinite life strategy for the zombies and for the skeletons. But at the end, if you have a closer look at what it actually does, it's nothing. I mean, they get the regeneration, but only for themselves. Okay, not for the units nearby. Dog, please, not again. And yes, there is the generic, the base version that has this Vigor Mortis ability that increases the melee defense and melee attack of the units nearby, but within a range of only 35 meters. Okay, that it's nothing. Okay, just a couple of units, one at the right and one at the left. The same for the Bretonnia Reliquae. So nothing. I mean, it's not like you are boosting the entire similar army like for the war drums of Grand Cathay that have a larger, okay, a longer and a wider range. Okay, in this case it's very poor. There is then the version, the Balefire, that grants the flaming attacks and the magical attacks that, I mean, why? I mean, you're fighting against the Empire, the Greenskins, and Bretonnia, the dwarves. I mean, probably it's them that they need the flaming attacks and the magical attacks against you, not you against them. And then there is the third version that maybe it's the only one that can be a little useful, but I mean, it costs the double of the base one. That is the Anoli Lodestone. That this will heal the hit points of your allies at least. Okay, I mean, in this way it's more zombies, skeletons related, so it can be a little useful, but I mean, I think they are not a very worthy addition, except probably this third variant, and I really would like them to get some kind of buff, because in this situation they are, I mean, if you're an expert Vampire Counts player, probably you can find a way to make them great, but otherwise I just think there are better options at the same price. And directly from the last DLC, Tides of Torment, this giant flying monster deserves a place in this list. We can say that since its announcement, the Preyton didn't receive a warm welcome, okay? It was a controversial choice to put it into the Slaanesh roster, even if Rick, in one of the interviews with Creative Assembly, justified that basically they spot in the lore that there were these, you know, Preyton, these enchanted flying deers that were attracting the prey into their dens, and then they were, I don't know, devouring them. That could be, you know, in some way Slaanesh related. I'm not sure, but I can excuse this. My problem is that this unit is not good at all. They reduced the price because I remember that back in, I mean, at the very, when they gave us the early access, it was, I mean, the price was higher, okay? That for me was too much. I remember that I was like, it's impossible, like this unit performs very, very bad, and I mean, there are other flying monsters at the same price that are, you know, 2 times better. Now they reduced the price a little, so it's a little more, you know, mid to high tier, but still it's not enough for me. It's one of the very few flying monster without a breath ability, and it would strongly need it. There is this all-consuming hatred that is an augment that reduces the melee defense to increase the melee damage reflection. That, believe me, it doesn't change anything at all. And then yeah, it got the frenzy, the endless malice that will increase the melee attack if there are some enemies routing, the devastating flankers, the missile resistance. That I mean, this one is particularly huge, I can tell you. But believe me, I mean, at the end it performs very, very bad. Okay, it will loses the fight against many other flying monsters, especially flying cavalry. I show you in one video against many different flying cavalries, and it was losing the fight all the time. So yeah, I mean, I really think this unit needs a buff or a far more reduction of, I mean, a higher reduction of the price, so it can be a very cheap beast that you can use already in the mid game. And in this case, I mean, it can be useful like a Manticore, but I mean, better than a Manticore, but you cannot like state that this is a high tier monster. And I mean, in the game it's actually is considering that, and I mean, it's not good for me. And now the moment that you were all waiting for, because I remember back in the previous video of the worst units in Total War Warhammer 3, everyone in the comments was like, where is the Sky Lantern? Why you didn't put the Sky Lantern? And I mean, back to that day, I remember that there were already many units from Grand Cathay, so I didn't want to exaggerate against this faction that actually is one of my favorite, and with the Monkey King and the Yin Yin coming, I expect it to be probably even my favorite faction in the entire game, but I challenge any of you to write in the comment one single reason or why I should recruit this unit. As a mount, I can say that there are many advantages to give it to the Lord Magistrate, because he can control from up, he can give all the different bonuses to the unit, so it's great as a mount. But as a unit itself, what he's doing here, there is no armor, okay, very little armor, that makes this unit an incredibly easy target for range attacks and for other flying units that like monsters or flying cavalries that can attack this unit and have no problem with that. I mean, you have no defense, or you have to recruit an additional fleet, so some Great Logma Riders, some Onyx Crowmen, or some Celestial Lions, the Moonbirds, as you know, to defend this unit, or some missile infantry. But in any case, I mean, you need a lot of protection to get what? I mean, an easy target with no armor, very slow. Okay, at least the flying units are usually fast. Not in this case. In this case, it's slower than most of the infantries in this game. The melee capabilities, I mean, again, are not worth to mention. He cannot land, so you cannot even hide it in a forest. Okay, I closed the dog outside. In any case, I was saying, then there is this ability that is called the Eye of the Dragon, where there is this forest spotting of plus 100%, and it grants more leadership to the allies units. But I mean, believe me, it's not that important. It will not spot all the units. If it was, okay, that it could spot all the units with the stalk or hidden in the forest in the map, it may have been good. Okay, in that case, yes. But otherwise, no, I mean, no. And then there are basically 4 snipers, okay, on that, and they will shoot at 4 different directions. What does it mean? That if you put the unit in the middle of the enemy army, all these 4 rifles will shoot. But if you put it just with the enemy army at one side, just 2 of these rifles will shoot at the enemy. So can you explain me why this is happening? I mean, there is no reason to buy this unit. He got some harmony amplifier. Okay, this is a good thing for Grand Cathay, but I mean, you're spending a lot. You need a specific building for these flying war machines. So why? I mean, why? I really don't get. I mean, I understand they probably wanted to make as a mount, or you know, they wanted to create a lesser version of the Sky Junk that is one of the greatest units in this roster. But yeah, at the end it didn't work. Probably if they manage to get some buffs to this unit, the situation will change. But in the current state, I cannot tell you I'm satisfied. Thank you for following me. See you very soon, and yeah, and see you very soon.